At SXM, we're taking travel and tourism to new heights. Here we boast spacious check-in areas, 10 passport control points, comfortable departure lounges, and an exciting new airport mall. Finally, there's an airport in the Caribbean that takes your travel plans as seriously as you do. Princess Juliana International Airport. The experience will move you.
Hello my people, it is GCY of Sit, Sip and Chat, letting you guys know that the Post Lounge is back. We're going to be back at Axum Cafe on February 7th from 8 to 10 p.m. So you guys were inquiring and now we're back. Come on out and enjoy the vibes.
Every year, TelEm connects multiple schools across the island of St. Martin. TelEm helps almost 25 schools stay connected to the internet, and they do it all for free. Approximately 5,000 students and educational staff in our community has access to the internet every day at school. By connecting them worry-free every day, year after year, we help reduce costs to education for institutions so that educators can concentrate on what they do best: educate and prepare the next generation. We understand that technology adds value to education in a big way, and this year we want to do even more. We want to connect students in other ways by giving them tools to help them succeed and stay connected. So this year, we have selected all the grade 5 and 6 students from the participating schools to be the recipients of special educational kits with access to discounted data plans. These kits include essential school supplies and a free data kit to help ensure this school year is a good one. We want to help students have access to the resources and knowledge afforded by the internet, as well as be able to stay in touch when needed with their parents and guardians. These data kits will have access to exclusive discounted data plans with reduced rates. These reduced rates will be exclusive to the students and staff of these schools. This way, both our students and educators can continue to stay connected and in touch at a more affordable and accessible rate. To all of the students, on behalf of TelEm, we want to wish you great endeavors and chase your dreams, because your dreams will come true once you put in the work. And to all of the teachers that do an amazing job with all of the students, we want to encourage you to continue doing that great job. On behalf of TelEm, stay connected, and we are out. Boom!
Welcome to the Late Night Show. Hope everything is okay. Hope everything is all right. I'm your host, Andrew Dick. All right. First, before we start off with what's happening on St. Martin, I have to say a special belated birthday going out to Pete, our wonderful editor and cameraman. He didn't tell me yesterday it was his birthday when he is right here in the studio. Oh, recording me right now, just like yesterday, and he was just there smiling like normal days, normal Pete. I was like, okay, cool. And then bam, his wife had to put on Facebook. I was like, wait, what? Why is his birthday? And I was like, well, Pete really just under the radar, because then I noticed that he had a post from 12 hours ago. I was like, I really need to pay attention to Facebook, because birthdays, I do not remember. Not even my own people, children, people just have to, baby mothers just have to tell me, hey, it's your kid's birthday. Okay, they were birthed. Yay. All right. Welcome to the show. Now, of course, it's all about what's happening on St. Martin. We begin with some bacchanal news. Of course, Carnival 2024 is in full effect, full swing. And we begin with the president of the St. Martin Carnival Development Foundation, Edward Rajuki, has sounded the alarm that he heard that they have a number of promoters that are conspiring against Carnival to host a music festival at the end of April. Now, as you know, Carnival begins with pre-events, March, April, going into May, and it's 3 weeks of fun. And usually nothing, absolutely nothing is organized during the Carnival festivities. However, this time around, they have big promoters that have been doing Carnival for the past years. You got the Calaboom crew, you have the Flag Fest crew, you have the Night of the Hitmakers crew, and I believe some other ones, but those are the most of the flagship shows of Carnival is not in the schedule for multiple reasons. We don't know, we don't care, but as you know, Carnival always continues. This time around, it looks like one of the many promoters out there decided to organize or wants to organize a music festival during the final week, the Juve week of the Carnival season. And as you know, that's the most busiest time because a bunch of people come down, usually at the end of April, because they know that's like, you know, the last lap of Carnival, and that's when they have money, and that's when, you know, visitors are on the island. It's strategically done every single year where people book from the year before that next year I'm doing Carnival. Well, the president of the foundation ain't having it, and he was pissed the hell off. He sent out a press release yesterday, and he was very, very, very upset about the backstabbing by these promoters to actually have events outside of Carnival during the Carnival season. Because you can imagine the president of the foundation basically feels that these promoters could do it any time of the year. They could do it before Carnival, they could do it after Carnival, but why do it during Carnival? Now, some of the arguments that are being used, because I see that some people send messages to the press release where they stated that, oh, the Carnival does not belong to the Carnival Foundation. You're absolutely right. However, it is customary that government does not give out permits to any other events during the Carnival season because you need to protect the product that you have for you. Let's not forget the economic boom that happens during the month of April. Besides, you have the strip, which is the going towards the village with the different booths that are placed so that you have entrepreneurs basically, you know, making a little bit of extra change. You have the trickle-down effect of extra tourists coming down, spending their dollars in Phillipsburg, in Simpson Bay, Maho, even on the French side. You have the hotels, the taxi drivers, the bus drivers, the booth holders, I mean, the small entrepreneurs that provide services to the village. It's a whole economic boom for the 3 weeks. So for anybody to come and kind of threaten it is a no-no for the foundation, because you can imagine they're doing it over 50 years. So they want to basically say, hey, wait a minute now, buddy. Let's not forget that this is our bread and butter. This is the bread and butter of St. Martin. So wait a minute now. Now, the drama with Carnival never seems to amaze me because it's always going to have Bacchanal, because there is no Carnival without a Bacchanal. Bacchanal, Carnival, same thing. But this time around, and you know, me and the foundation is being.
We're all gonna be like three little Fonzies here. And what's Fonzie like? Come on, Yolanda, what's Fonzie like?
Cool.
What?
Cool.
Correctamundo.
Especially that crazy man with the locks. Alston. Anyway, it's no good. Waste of time. Oh, but anyway, I kind of have to side with the Carnival Foundation on this one. I know, listen, don't hold me to it, but come on now. And the police department gave a negative advice of anything that's happened outside of Carnival due to the reason that they're understaffed. Remember? So the same government that shaft the police officers who were supposed to be getting an X amount of increase in their salaries and so on and so on and so on, we ain't even going back there because I don't want to get upset, are now in a position whereby they're going to have to work Juve, they're going to have to work parade, they're going to have to work for all those days like per normal. And then in the evening hours have to go to another location in St. Martin to go and make sure that there's public order there, no matter how much security services that place might have. Let's be realistic, people. Let's be realistic. The police says basically no. Their advice is to government, don't do it. The government, on the other hand, is staying silent on the whole issue because they are on their way out. So are they being spiteful towards the foundation who they never had a really good relationship with, National Alliance?
You son of a...
So you're going to spite SCDF. You can spite an SCDF because they're just a group of volunteers. You're spiting the economy, the already fragile economy, for God's sake. So how is it that we are going to just ignore that they're going to have events? Because it just takes one. Mr. Rude, for example, of say, I like that. I like that. Say, Anyway, the night of the Hitmakers, one of the big nights of the Carnival season. It's not on the schedule, so he's doing it outside of Carnival, but during Carnival. But he's doing it at the Alizé Convention Center. And because it's during the parade day, it's after the parade day, in the evening of the parade, it should be okay. So what, police officers have to walk in the sun the whole day, and then afterwards report to Alizé to make sure that the 600, 700, 800 people that there are safe? And I know what you're thinking. You're saying, but Andrew, wait, Night of the Hitmakers, kids don't go to that. So therefore, they would never have a fight at the Alizé Convention Center, especially with grown people. And then I would say, hey,
watch where you walking, nigga. Hey, what you say, nigga?
Watch closely. You're about to experience a nigga moment. Webster defines the nigga moment as a moment when ignorance overwhelms the mind of an otherwise logical Negro male.
What did you say, nigga? Hey, squeeze it, nigga.
Causing him to act in an illogical, self-destructive manner, i.e., like a nigga.
Hush your mouth, because if a man goes there and see his sighting wife, or neighbor, cousin, sister, with somebody he ain't supposed to be with, the first thing they're going to be like is, Stacy, that you? But Stacy, no. Pete, get the beep ready. What the what you doing here, girl? Throw it down. And then what are you going to say? Well, we didn't have no fights in the past 10 years, but today, life? No. Public safety and public order is a real thing. You can't just say because nothing happened before, therefore nothing's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You're not God. Come on now. Let's take it easy now. So, my advice to those wonderful promoters is do it after. Do it before. Don't come and spoil the fun and do it during Carnival, man. Jesus Christ. And then I know it's just a little fraction will go to Alizé Convention Center. So why make a scene, Andrew? Hush your mouth. You don't know what you're talking about. I love Night of the Hitmakers. It's one of my favorite shows. So, if you, I could talk. I could have an opinion about it. I just don't like the fact that it's happening during the Carnival season, the village, the strip, the Simpson Bay already have to catch a fight for people to come over. The rest of the island still have to roll for people who don't like Carnival. And then you just want to give them another option like, Madam Estate, you could come, we got parking. Okay, but I mean, so your kids don't go to the village and you go in Alizé? And we're going to put the police in the middle? I don't understand. Like, I mean, listen, everybody got to make money, but let me do it responsibly, people. Let's do it responsible. Like, what happened to our youth? And I understand that these promoters do it strategically during the April month because of the amount of tourists, amount of people, amount of surrounding island people come to St. Martin for that time. It's if you do a show outside of Carnival, you won't get the same impact that if you do it during Carnival. That is statistically proven for sure. Carnival, there's no show that you can do during the Carnival season. During the Carnival season, after the Carnival season, it's a whole different thing. So even if you wait for the summer, you get a whole different crowd, a whole different vibe. However, the Carnival product does not belong to SCDF. It ain't Rajuki own, it ain't Granger own, it ain't Alston own, it ain't the volunteers own. They're yours. So let we protect it a little bit, no man. But we're going to start with one promoter, then a next promoter, and it's a small event. It's a small event. All of a sudden, they come together, and then there's a competing thing on our own. Like, only black people just do that.
Fascinating creature, the crab. Got that hard exterior, but he ain't really dangerous. Except to another crab. Dumb as all hell. Can't even walk straight. Matter of fact, the only thing a crab is good for is holding back other crabs. A crab don't want to see another crab make it.
Anyway, let me just celebrate Carnival the way we're supposed to celebrate it, by respecting the tradition that we always had. You wait after Carnival, you do it before Carnival, but just don't disturb the product, man. Like, forget about the faces, forget about the people, promoters, and also the SCDF. I don't care who is there. But just remember what Carnival is all about. This is the last cultural thing we got, man. St. Martin Day, we almost bringing it back how it's supposed to. So let me just safeguard Carnival a little bit before it gets completely commercialized. Okay, rant is over when it comes to Carnival. We're doing what we have to do. Yeah? All right. And then finally, they have a very interesting situation that is happening when it comes to the wonderful, wonderful people of the government of St. Martin. Of course, the Fatal Four continues to give the impression that everything is fine, everything is kosher, and all candidate ministers are ready to go. So we have to wait and see. Of course, February 10th is far away, but yet so close. The MP-elect, Shamia Roseberg, was on a program today on SOS Radio, and she spoke to the population about, her experience going into government, what to expect as a parliamentarian to be, and along with some other questions. But before we go, let us begin the show. And then when we come back, you could relax and listen to Shamia Roseberg.
Hi, darling. I'm fine. Just calling to say hi.
Oh, okay. We got over here.
Girl, I hear watching this movie and it.
But Mom, you finished all your minutes yet?
No, girl. TelEm has new postpaid plans and automatically upgraded my postpaid package.
Is that so?
Guess what? I am getting more minutes and almost double the amount of data for the same price.
I guess I'm making a switch now.
Let me call you back, Mom.
Hey Tash, you have of TelEm new postpaid plans?
Okay, so Shamina Roseberg, attorney at law, member of the URSM, now MP-elect, was on SOS Radio. Pete, roll the clip.
I guess you've seen quite a lot.
I've
from
seen quite a lot from
perspective.
different perspective, but
Yes.
also from females to males. But it boils down to having that safe space,
Yeah.
safe space, and knowing that there are institutions to assist. But also knowing that your information will not be leaked.
Yeah.
You know, so informing the people step by step what needs to happen, and also keeping the people informed. Like, okay,
Yes.
these are the institutions in place, and this is the direction that we're going in,
Yeah.
because it's a big step
Yeah.
to take,
Yeah.
especially if you were in it for a long time.
Oof.
And a lot of times, abusers have been abused.
Yeah.
You know, so it also has a mental connection.
Yeah.
And if we are seeing, for example, that on the island the mental health institution is full,
Yeah.
Turning Point is full, because sometimes also in combination with,
Substance
abuse,
Yeah.
indeed. So why would you go to an institution while you can get help?
Yeah.
So we need to tackle the institutions as well, because you can't expect people to seek help, and when they finally took that step, there's no help available.
Yeah. And so one of the things, so we are lacking on the institutions.
Yes.
And you know, I don't know if you are aware or have any information on this. There was a victim support.
Well, if we the victim support system, I know that the Ministry of Justice has mentioned it. It hasn't been established as yet. In the near future, hopefully it will be. It's also one of my focus points, because when you deal with a criminal procedure case, a lot of times they're focused on the suspect, the perpetrator. And our criminal system is very much focused on, okay, did that person do it or not? And let's say if we're dealing with an abuse case, the victim is a lot of time being forgotten.
Yeah.
Now more and more you're seeing that the victim gets a role in our criminal procedure. What do I mean by that? Is that let's say the person has been abused and there are certain damages, physically or mentally. You can submit a claim. A lot of people are not aware of that, but the public prosecutor office can assist you with that claim. Or you can, of course, hire an attorney. I will come to that later on. And then they will assist you with that claim. And then in the case itself, after you have pressed charges and you made it clear what your damages are, when you go to court, the judge also allows you a moment to speak and also explain what the effects are of the case on you. But by law, it's not established as yet. So that's something that also will be tackled once I enter. I will discuss it with my other members to look at making sure that the victim has a legal perspective in the law book, so that they can tackle it from a legal way. So that being said, a victim support system will guide you from the beginning till the end, from having that support while pressing charges or getting there to press charges. Once you press charges, to be updated, what's going on, is the person still incarcerated, is the person released, what are the next steps, when is the court date, when the court date is there, being prepared for the court date, because you can have an abuse case, but there are different varieties of abuse. And to see
and be eye to eye with the person that have done you something, that can be very it can be a confrontation, you know, and
very uncomfortable.
Yes, and also the aftercare, you know, after the court hearing. So that is something that needs to be in place in a structured way. Other than that, as well, I believe that not every case need to be tackled in court. And as you might know, you also have the option to mediation.
Yes.
I'm also a certified mediator, and I have seen that certain cases don't need to be dealt with in court. Let's say you have a family setting and abuse took place within the family. Is it wise to send a mother or father to court while you have children to deal with? Isn't it better to have a mediation session? Meaning that both parties will be able to explain what happened and come to a final conclusion in how they're going to tackle the relationship afterwards. There may be different trainings that they can follow. I know there's a safe home training, etc., to make sure that the home environment is a better environment again. So we need to make more use, I believe, of mediation. There have been certified mediation trainers from the police force, from the
different
department,
of justice.
So we're getting somewhere, but it needs to be structured, and it needs to be also clear to the community where to go to. And I believe that we need to deal with that from the different community centers, but also the different help desks, so that we can make sure that the people know where they stand. And that's why, as you can maybe remember, I was doing the free legal advice with the idea of having a free legal help desk on the island. And topics like this can also be tackled from that legal help desk. And at this moment, I don't sit still, we're working. That's why I still look like this. I still look a little tired, but we're working because we want to establish that help desk so it can continue, because a lot of people are now asking me, like, Ms. Roseberg, you know, when can I have that free legal advice? Or where do I need to go? And I want to make sure that a structure is in place for our people, that they would know, okay, where to go, instead of making that step 1, 2, 3 to an attorney. It's not always needed.
Correct. It's not always needed. And these are the things, if you don't know, you know, and then going to an attorney is costly. So, and people, if you don't have the funds, then, you know, you take a step back and you just let the situation continue.
And that's why it's important to know where to go to get that
because
help.
You need to, once you have the information, you say, you know, I may not need to have to go to a lawyer. I can go, let me go to SJIB or for there's mediation. Let me seek that out first. Let's see if the partner is willing. You must first have a willing partner.
You can't go to mediation.
You can't do mediation and the person
you're not willing. No.
You have to be willing to see yourself where you're at and be willing to deal with the situation at hand. I think because we did that mediation training, it is very, very, very useful. It's very helpful. It is, and it would save a lot of families so much pain. If we would just sit back, take our time, and then again, but there's so much involved, Shamida, the mental aspect.
Yeah, that's why it's not easy.
It's not a 1, 2, 3.
You need to also understand, right, that like when you're struggling and you're going through so much, you're trying to survive, and you find yourself in a situation, and now you have to go and talk to a person who you don't know. You have to talk about your feelings, your emotions. Like, hello, I'm trying to survive. I don't have no energy for that. So that's why what I stick by, and that's just my way of thinking, we need to involve our people. We need to empower them. We need to make sure that there are different awareness classes so that the step to take will not be that high. You can go from A to B just like that, you know. We need to, especially when it's something new, you need to find a creative way to bring that information to the people, so that the next time they would know, okay, I can go there. You know? Same thing, for example, I'm new to politics, right? And I wanted to know, okay, how can I make my vision stick with the people? And I was number 5 on the list, and that 5-star, it sticks. Everyone is talking about it now, and you know, they're expecting something. They have hope, and that's my vision. You know, create that hope and know what your role is. And as I said, I have been elected. You thank me, but I'm thanking the people, because without those 247 votes, I wouldn't have been elected. You know, and then you can see the hard work and you're being focused and skipping all that's happening, the side attraction, because at this moment there are lots of side attractions, but distraction, but you're staying focused because you know you're on a mission and you know why you're here for it.
Why you're in this race?
Yes,
there's a purpose, and you know, it's good that you understand that, because we need people who are focused on their purpose, on their mission, and you know, at the end of it all, you would have said, you know, people would be able to sit back and say, you know, she worked. She did what she said she was going to do.
They will say
that
delivered.
Yeah. You know, and you know, we from everyone's voice part for sure, we look forward to partnering with you, to working with you, to meeting with you, and sharing our vision, our hopes and our dreams for women, for St. Martin, and for women in particular, but for everybody. You know, we want to see an abuse-free society, and that's going to take work. It may not happen in my time, but
if you help one or two people, you know,
the ball rolling,
you see change, and I'm there for it as well. As I stated, you know, I want to see St. Martin where it needs to be. I need the people to have those resources, support system, you know, the right to the confidentiality. You need to be able to tell your story without feeling that it will reach somewhere. The support services need to be in place. We need to. It need to be an equal society, you know, and
people need to. It should be available for everyone. That no matter where you are in life, who you are, that you have that right. To the services, you know, and it's getting better.
Yeah, it's getting better, but we're not there yet.
It's getting better.
I believe as a member of parliament, and I also looking at my other colleagues, we have a role to play.
Yes.
We have a role to play, and we can make sure that we support and bring forward ideas that are coming from the community, so that we can implement and make sure that certain progress are implemented. I also believe in the fact that educational perspective, that we can play a role, inform the youth from young, like, you know, what are the effects of abuse, you know, what can it do with your future, being incarcerated, what's the effect of that, where do you want to see your future, what's going through your mind, if you have seen it at home, how can we tackle it, how can we make sure that we break that system, you know. But we need to have those conversations. We need to go to the people. We need to go to the schools. We need to go to the kids. We need to listen to them.
I remember some time back, I went to the Miss Lally Center.
Yes.
I had the opportunity to speak to the young men there.
Yeah.
And you know, it broke my heart to see such intelligent young men.
They are.
You know, miss, what you want to do? We have to eat. We have to, you know, and it's sad that they have such creative minds.
Yeah, they have.
And I'm like, wow, why? It baffles me to see we have all of this intelligence locked up.
Literally locked up. You know, and that, for the ones that don't know, right? When I was studying law, and I did my master's, I wrote my thesis based on the juvenile crime. Juvenile crime, because I believe if you want to change the system, you need to start by the youth. You need to start by the youth, and I always was fascinated by, okay, how can I bring that change and where to start? You know, a child is born innocent. So if you can make sure that you change that mindset from that child, you can change their future. And a lot of times when I talk about my clients, people know me as a criminal defense attorney, and they are like, oh yeah, you're fighting for the inmates. Like, I don't understand. You're the attorney of the Inmates Association, but yes, why are you fighting for them? When they locked up, they do the crime, and they do the time. And I'm like, I understand where you're coming from, but have you ever looked at it from the perspective that, one, they need to come out again? Don't you want them to come out better? Other than that, there is a story behind the crime. So let's make sure that they get the guidance that they need. Because remember, we are paying for the inmates that are incarcerated. So when you're paying for them, you want to make sure that they don't fall into the same system again. So how can you avoid that? To make sure that there's a proper training in place so that it will be tackled from within. But at this moment, the youngsters in the Miss Lally Center, for example, I am of the opinion that more can be done.
Yeah.
Because difference between juvenile prison and adult prison is the educational perspective. So if you're between the 12 and 18, you have to go to school, right?
Yeah.
At this moment, I'm not sure if there are minors incarcerated in that age, because remember that last time I checked, it was only between 18 and 21. But still, if you're placing someone in a juvenile center, they need to get juvenile treatment.
Yeah.
Other than that, when you're incarcerated in the Point Blanche prison, also there, I have been focused on the rehabilitation and resocialization of inmates. They need to get the proper care, because once you are out, you need to know how to think and act different. And if you never got any mediation, if you didn't get any training,
so you're coming back, or you're going back
no, you're going back in the society. Let's say if it was an abuse case, you're being confronted with whoever you were incarcerated for. You know, you'll see each other, and that's not the way to go about it. I believe we lack the proper planning and structuring, and that's why within, if we look at the justice ministry, we will be focused on making sure that the proper planning and the proper programs with a short-term, mid-term, and long-term plan is in place. And that's what we're looking at, and that's what we will be focused on within government, our new government.
Because it has to be structured.
Yeah,
and without that structure, you're just doing things, and it's not going to last.
And that's it, and that's why you're seeing, like now, as you know, the current prison is full, right? And you have ankle bracelet monitoring. You can do so much more with that. There's house arrest. You can do so much more with that. You can enforce certain trainings. If you don't do that, then you will be incarcerated again. But because the vision is not there or wasn't there, when you're passionate about something, it just comes natural, right?
You need to have those trainings in place so that, if they're at home and it's available. If they're not there, then and we have to, and I think, Shamira, you said something, the youth. We have to start at an earlier age. Because children nowadays, they are getting younger and younger. Their minds are being, with the internet.
Social media.
Social media is it's our 1-year-olds are on the phones already. So they're
getting information. If you're not giving it to them, they're getting it. So you want them to get the correct info?
Information, yes. And and also encourage parents to talk with their children, have discussions about what they're seeing and what they're hearing, because if you leave them to their own devices, they most probably will be misled. They're going to form their groups, and parents are not involved, I believe, as involved as they could be or should be with their children, and a lot of times because they themselves don't know.
And that's it. That's the key right there. I believe we can't completely blame the parents, because again, if there's if you look at the generations, right, and if you never was taught something, how can you
pass it on?
Pass it on to your children. So for those that don't know, we need to make sure that we're there for them to give the proper tools so that they can make sure to take care of their kids.
And it's not a judgment of those persons.
Because no, of course, but you have to have the conversation about it.
About it, because it's a world that we all live in, and we all are affected by the crimes and whatever happens negative in society. We all are affected. So we are not saying that we got it all together. I'm a good mother. No, we're all learning as we go. Life is a journey, and I believe as you go along, you will learn. I was a daughter. I'm a daughter. I'm a mother. Now I'm a grandmother, and every stage is different. I've learned. So what I did, what happened to me growing up, I did not do with my children when they were growing up. But things that I did with my children, I'm not doing with my grandchildren.
You're one of those too. I've seen that with my parents too.
It's different.
Yes.
So, but you
learning.
have to be willing to learn and adopt. Don't stay. Oh, this is how we do. This is how I was taught, and this is how it is.
And that's what you're saying. Well, that's what you're saying right there is so important, because it's funny to see. Like, I am a daughter. I'm not a parent as yet, but I can see it with my parents that the way how they used to treat me and my siblings, and now with
they-
my brothers' children, I'm like, huh? With the like, what's going on there? We couldn't do that, you know. So yeah, but I'm learning, you know. And I'm like, okay, you know, at least you're seeing change, and it has to do also with the generation and communication. I'm really heavy on communication. Communication is key. So I believe you need to be able to communicate with your children, and they need to be able to tell you whatever is going on. And that's something I'm really grateful for my parents, because they always had that open door.
I want you to talk a little more on that, because I believe that is something that is important, that parents need to understand that when I talk about, you don't have to be their best buddy and you hang out together, but they have to have that confidence. You know, I can go to mom, I can go to dad and say anything.
Yes.
But one of the first things a lot of us do, will you do that? I'm gonna beat you. I'm this. From small, when you tell a child from small, if you do that, I'm gonna beat you. That child is not gonna come to you. They're not gonna be open. And this is one of the things I try to stress on this program as well. As often as I can.
I agree.
Listen, my grandson, I tell him, tell Oma the truth. Oma's not going to beat you. Because I want him to know. He said, Oma, you want to hit me? He said, no, Oma's not going to do that. But Oma want you to come and tell me the truth. I want you to be open. I will speak with you if it's something that you did wrong. You know, why did you do this? Don't do that. And you may get a punishment. You may get, I'll take your tablet or something away from you. But there must be consequences, but not that they are afraid to come and say.
And that's what you're saying there is very important. And I do believe we need to continue to talk to our community about that, because I had several discussions where people stated like, no, I got licks when I was younger, so they're getting licks as well.
Look at me, I made it.
Yeah,
no,
indeed.
Are you really good though?
And that's very important, because first of all, a lot of people might not agree with me, but that's okay. The law states that you cannot put your hands on anyone. Also, even giving your child a correction by giving them a little slap, it's not allowed. You can be prosecuted. I have seen it.
Okay.
You can be prosecuted. So that's number one. You're committing a crime. Other than that, make it known that by hitting, what will you affect? What will be the effect of that? What will happen with that child mentally? You know? So if they now told you the truth and the consequence was, I'm going to beat you, they will not come back. So, of course, again, I'm not a parent, and you might have the urge to correct your child, but I believe in communicating and indeed have consequences to the action. A consequence that will have a bigger effect
than beating,
taking a phone away or taking a tablet away or making it clear, okay, you're not going there, whatever. I don't believe in taking away sports either. I believe in certain activities, fun activities, but also taking it away isn't the best thing to do, or communicating and having that dialogue with your child to understand where is this coming from, because once they don't speak to you anymore, your child can be lost and have severe consequences for the future. So you don't want that. You don't want that. So let's be focused on, okay, how can we avoid this from happening in the future? What needs to be done? And make sure that you as a parent are that safe space for your child. You're the anchor of your child.
And you know, there is so much material out there to assist parents. There's a page that I follow online, Therapist Talks, I think it's called. They give such good advice to parents, especially with children when they're angry. They explain to you, why are children angry? They're not angry because they want to be angry. Why are they outbursts? But we have to take the time to learn and try to understand a child. A child is crying. Oh, when we were growing up, my parents would say, "Stop crying before I give you something to cry for."
Yeah. I heard that one too. I heard that one too.
But you now you're a child will probably behave because you're instilling fear in a person, and having that child behave, it's not that child is a well-behaved child. That child is just fearful. You have instilled fear in that child, and that child sits there and as if it's a perfect child.
And I don't agree with that either.
That fear, instilling fear in someone is not beneficial. It's not going to help, because what you're doing as now that as I'm learning, I'm going and I'm learning, I'm noticing that if I beat a child, I am telling that child it's okay to beat someone else.
Yes.
Because stop hitting your sister.
Yeah.
I am telling you to stop hitting your sister, but I'm hitting you.
Indeed, and that's
so
right.
It's mentally that child is okay. When I did this, mommy hit me or daddy hit me, so I'm gonna hit you.
We need to break that cycle.
We need to break that. Correct.
Yeah.
And
start with communicating about it. Communicating with your friends. If you don't want to go to an institution, communicate with your friends. Explain what's going through in your mind. Yeah. Let's help each other, and let's also make the resources available so that the people will know, okay, where to go or how can I get assistance. Therapy is still taboo. Nobody wants to talk about therapy because they say nothing is wrong with me, so I'm not going. But therapy is important. You need to talk to someone so that you would know, okay, how can I cope with what I'm dealing with and make sure that I'm not going to use my child as a mechanism to tackle my thoughts. Like, no, you need to be loving and caring for your children.
Correct.
Okay, so that's one part. Now, one of my favorite parts of the show is, of course, the flashback segment.
Flashback.
For the first time ever, I had to agree with Savage Chris. Chris went off on another level. And I loved it because it didn't come from me. It came from him, and you know Chris already, he was passionate. He was like, Mr. Mingo is no good. And I was like, yes, Chris, yes, I've been saying it for months, but nobody listens to me. I just a dick on TV, I guess. In any way, now, when it comes to what's happening at the Princess Juliana International Airport, reports that came out since 2017, 2018, showing that work was already put in a report, basically stating that every single thing that they know now, why it's delayed, they had know it already. And now, the same company, because it's Ballas Nedam, and it's a Dutch company, so therefore, it's a Dutch company, so we can't talk about it because it's the Dutch. Bullshit. No good. Something needs to happen at the airport. The same Dutch prosecutor needs to investigate those people there at the Princess Juliana International Airport who's responsible for what the hell is going on with the reconstruction at the Princess Juliana International Airport. I know I'm coming a bit strong because you thought today would have been about unity and kumbaya and goats and sheep because St. Martin's Day is tomorrow. No. That's just one day. Meanwhile, the airport is being destroyed and nobody's doing anything about it. But Savage Chris, thank God for Savage Chris because he didn't hold back. Take a listen.
Ballas Nedam came in 2021. The report is sitting there. It's only now, in 2022, you need additional money, additional 7 months. When the report had said it from 2017, where the hell the report was, Mr. Mingo, when Ballas Nedam got the contract, didn't you give them the report so that they could have known that one of the first things that need to be done was repainting of the fire retardant coating because the report that the airport asked for said it. Now you're going to come in 2022 saying that there's going to be a delay for 7 more months because of unexpected repair work.
What's unexpected about it? You were warned about it since 2017.
You was warned about it from 2017. Now you know. And they said it in their press release. Unexpected additional work. How the hell it could be unexpected additional work when it's in the report from 2017? So Mr. Mingo, you came in there in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. Didn't you read the report? So even if Mingo ain't read the report, what about the blinking board? What about the board? What about the board? And the Council of Ministers, if you don't have the report, I'll give you the report. Because I have it. I have it. 42 pages detailing the damage of everything on the airport. And now you are telling the people of St. Martin. No? So I am saying to you, when you got that contract, didn't you do an inspection? Didn't you walk through? Didn't you know what all you was going to repair? It's now you know that the paint is peeling and it's unexpected work when the beep report said that in 2017. This is what you're telling the people of St. Martin. This is what the World Bank, the NRBP, the government, and then when I tell all you, you cannot trust them. Did I say Chris fear-mongering?
Chris, I gotta tell you this one.
Did I say Chris fear-mongering?
On the ball.
Huh?
Because you are correct.
You're ripping off the airport, you're ripping off the money, and you're siphoning it off piece by piece by piece for work that you should have known need to be done the moment you got the contract. So then, what is in the contract that you did a groundbreaking for that you was going to repair? What? What? You think that bad? You don't even want me to read page 11. It detailed every beam that needed to be repainted. It detailed it. Every beam.
That means that Balasnera, nor the board, nor the CEO ever read that report.
No, they all read it. They all read it. But it's to scrape up more money. But they didn't expect that your honorable member of parliament would have had it. They didn't expect it to come out. And that's why I'm saying this is what you call, and people that go to jail for it, inside trading.
Yep.
Savage Chris! He said a mouthful. I don't need to say anything else. What Chris say? Exactly what Chris say. In this instance, what Chris say. Not a real place. And the thing is, nobody's saying anything. The government, they're going to have quarterly meetings. They're going to have bi-weekly meetings. They're going to meet. In the meanwhile, time just passing and the airport continues to say the same goddamn way since 2017 after the hurricane. It's 2022. We are going in 2023. And still, the airport look like... Okay, thank you so much for watching, of course. Late Night will be back tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye-bye.